In this lesson, we will see how to work with cached thread pool executors. As you already know from one of the previous lessons, a cached thread pool executor creates as many threads as required for executing the submitted tasks. If a task is submitted to it and a thread is available, then that thread is used to run the task. However, if all the threads are busy executing previously submitted tasks, then a new thread is created and the new task is executed by that thread. There is no concept of a tasks queue with regards to cached thread pools. As soon as a task is submitted, it is immediately executed by this executor. When a thread has finished executing its task, it becomes available and is reused for the next task that is submitted to this executor, just like the fixed thread pool. However, in a cached thread pool executor, there is no limit on the number of threads that can be created by the pool. As many number of threads will be created as are required in order to run all the submitted tasks concurrently, so that no task has to wait for execution. That is why there is no concept of a wait queue in cached thread pool executor. On your screen, you see a new class named usingcachedthreadpool.java on the left hand side, which is a copy of the usingfixedthreadpool.java class that we created in the last lesson. For tasks, we will continue using looptaska.java that you can see on the right hand side. The usage of cached thread pool executor is similar to the fixed thread pool executor. The only difference between the two is the method you call on the executors class. For cached thread pool executor, we call the new cached thread pool method. We also don't need to provide any parameter to this method, and we still get an instance of executor service when we call this method. So we can use exactly the same code for rest of this class as we had written for the fixed thread pool. This is the advantage of coding to interface. Our class is ready now. We are going to submit 3 tasks to this pool. So let's execute it. We see that all the 3 tasks started to run concurrently. The output is similar to what we got in the previous lesson when we submitted 3 tasks to a fixed thread pool having 3 threads. Let us now try submitting 6 tasks instead of 3. We see that all the 6 tasks started running concurrently now. So this execution proved that the cached thread pool creates as many threads as the number of submitted tasks and runs all the submitted tasks at once without making any task wait in a queue. Now, in order to see the reuse of an existing thread in cached thread pool, we need to know how to name the threads first. Then we can print the name of thread 2 in addition to the names of the tasks in the sysout logs. That will help us determine which task is running in which thread, and so if a thread is being reused, it will also become evident. As we haven't covered how to name the threads yet, so we are going to do this exploration in another section where we examine the concepts of naming the threads. This brings us to the end of the current lesson. In the next lesson, we will discuss about the single thread executors. See you there.